Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. My name is Naz.
And I'm Alba, and in this video we're going to tell you why we think Bali is overrated. Now, we know that's a bold statement, but hear us out. I think we have some valid points.
So we're gonna start with a disclaimer. We spent a month in Bali and we really liked it. We liked it so much that in fact we're thinking about going back. But that doesn't hide the fact that Bali is simply overrated for a number of reasons, and in this video we're going to tell you what those reasons are.
Make sure to also stick around to the end of the video, because at the end we're going to tell you what our favorite things are in Bali. Now let's get started with why we think Bali is overrated. Firstly, a lot of the time people think about Bali, they think paradisiac beaches. But actually, I don't think this is the best place to go to if you're looking for a really nice beach holiday. There are beautiful beaches in Bali, but they are not in the popular places where most tourists go to. They are further away from the popular locations and they are really difficult to access. And even then, they are not the best beaches for spending a whole day at the beach. Some have rocks, others have waves, which is why also Bali is a very surfer town. It is not the best place for a beach holiday.
We made a video about Uluwatu, which is the area of Bali where the best beaches tend to be. And you'll be able to see that even though they're nice, you will find much better in other Southeast Asian countries and also in some other continents. In Europe, you'll find it in Spain, Greece, Italy. In the Americas, you'll find it in Mexico, for example. But of course, if you go a little bit outside of Bali, we didn't go to the Gili Islands, but we heard that the waters are pristine blue. And it's a great place for snorkeling as well. But I don't think the Gili Islands are considered part of Bali. In fact, they're like 3 hours away by boat, so we're not counting that. We're not factoring that in. Secondly, pollution. I feel like this is a problem in not just Bali, but in every place where many tourists go. There's always going to be a certain level of pollution, and you see this ideal sunsets in the beach in Canggu, for example, or in Seminyak or whatever. But what you don't see is the sewer systems that lead straight into the sea and the smell that comes from it. So little things like that, the plastic on the side of the road, and just the pollution in general. For me, it was a down point. You will never see that in the pictures of Bali, but it was pretty evident that there was a lot of pollution.
Thirdly, it is difficult to get around in Bali, and the reason for that is because only the most famous areas have a good road. The rest have small roads. Some have potholes. They are not easy to find and get around, and the main mode of transportation in Bali is motorbikes, because a lot of these streets are narrow and not made for cars, and they're still really difficult to drive through with motorbikes because of these things I mentioned. They have rocks and potholes, and more often than not, even the most experienced drivers get to have accidents in Bali.
And we've driven in many countries. I mean, we've driven in the Philippines, in Mexico, in Spain, I don't know, in many countries. And Bali was the first place where we had a couple of incidents here and there. But yeah, because some of the roads are really hard to drive in. In addition, traffic norms are not the same as in other countries. Of course, Bali is an island, is still very much developing. But instead of some of the areas, instead of having signals that people respect, you have police guards kind of directing the traffic here and there. But the traffic can get pretty mental, especially in Canggu, which is where most people go. Which makes driving even more difficult.
And a lot of the times what you need to do when you're driving is not clear, so a lot of people wing it, which obviously again can cause accidents. So it's really not the easiest to get around. Some of the most popular areas in Bali have become too westernized for our taste, removing a little bit of the authenticity of Bali. And
Authenticity. You get what I mean.
And by that we mean that there's been a lot of places built specifically for tourists. Locals don't go there. They are priced at a tourist price, and a lot of them are even owned by tourists, so you don't even get the experience of, you know, what it is that locals actually do in the most popular areas. And to actually feel what it is, the Balinese culture, you have to go further out to these places that haven't been touched so much by expats, and you need a lot more time, and it's more difficult to get there because what's more prominent is the Western experiences.
And we have been to many countries in Southeast Asia, and we've always found that the most authentic and the nicest experience that we find are when there's less tourists. That's just a fact. And if you like backpacking, you'll probably agree with us. And if we think about Siargao, for example, an island at the end of the Philippines, it was so raw, it was so beautiful, it was so natural, and people used to say that the island looked a lot like Bali used to look like a few years ago. And yeah, surfing, the whole vibes, everything kind of the same, but less touched. Whereas Bali, it's already like very developed for what it should be.
We felt that experiences are overproduced. A lot of the things to do in Bali are literally produced for you to take photos to upload on Instagram. And I found this mind-boggling because Bali is such a beautiful place. There is so many incredible things to do, yet the most famous things to do are just to take photos. And we didn't really like that. For example, we went to famous Bali swing in Ubud, and I was expecting it to be all about swinging in the palm trees, and no, it was like a whole production of photography with people were there with dresses, makeup. It was like a whole thing that I did not expect. We'll leave the vlog as well in the description so you can check that out. But a lot of the things in Bali are actually like that.
Yeah, another one is the famous picture of the two kind of towers that you see everyone posting when they go to Bali. That's actually the entrance of a golf course, just for you to have an idea. And there are tours, there are Instagram tours that take you to different spots to take different pictures. And yet another thing was when we went to the waterfalls, they were absolutely beautiful, but we had to wait at least 30 minutes to actually go in the waterfall because there was a queue of people trying to take photos and do full photo shoots in those areas.
Which is fine if that's what you like to do. It's just that for us, we prefer to enjoy the moment, enjoy the experiences, connect with locals and nature, and you don't do that by having like a whole photography session in each of the locations.
Absolutely not. And you see in a video or in a photo on Instagram, you see the picture and it's absolutely gorgeous, but you don't see the 100 people queuing behind it, and that's the thing that we don't really like so much, and that's why we're saying it's overrated. That's what we feel like. And our last point is we think that Bali, specifically Canggu, was developed too quickly, and by this we mean there was too many people coming into Canggu at once. And they're obviously trying to meet the demand, and they're building new hotels and new restaurants and new everything. But there's too many cars and especially too many bikes. There's too many people trying to navigate the streets of Canggu. There's not even sidewalks, and yeah, people need to chill. They need to go somewhere else. I mean, it's not really, the infrastructure is just not there, right? Yeah. Even though there's a million cafes that are very Instagrammable, like people need to spread out a little, we felt, because the infrastructure cannot hold that many people.
Even things like the sewage system that you were saying, lighting, there were areas that had dead zones for phone and internet, which I know is not obviously like the biggest, most important thing, but you can tell that it's holding more than it currently can, the infrastructure. So yeah, in general, we think Bali is overrated because we had this idea of Bali being an absolute paradise. Picture perfect, amazing beaches, incredible scenes. Everything was perfect in our minds about Bali because that's what we had seen on social media. But the truth is, people on social media don't show you all these things. They don't show you the traffic, they don't show you the crowds, they don't show you the pollution. They don't show you that actually most of the businesses are run by expats and not locals. And we did not expect that when we got there, which is why we were a little bit shocked about all of these things, because we did not experience that in other countries in Southeast Asia.
Now, to say that Bali is overrated, it's really what we feel. However, that does not mean that Bali is not worth visiting and it's not beautiful. We like Bali a lot. One of the things that we liked the most about Bali was the amount of people you get to meet there. It's absolutely incredible, the amount of digital nomads and entrepreneurs that just moved to Bali to live a much more relaxed lifestyle and much more productive in a way. And also, I think it's very affordable still. Yeah, it's not as affordable as maybe as some other places in Southeast Asia, but still it's at a good price point.
Yeah.
And I also felt like there was a lot of food options in terms of eating. It was affordable to eat out, and there was a lot of options, high end, low end, whatever it is, you can find it there too.
Yeah, I mean, don't get us wrong, Bali is an absolute place that is worth visiting. It's just that some people expect certain things because of what they've seen on social media, and that is not the reality. So we just obviously want to share that with you, so that if you do go to Bali, you go for the right reasons and you know what it is that you should be doing there. But that is everything for this video. We hope that you guys enjoyed it. Don't burn us too much in the comments, please. This is just our honest opinion.
A lot of people that we spoke to, they agree that Bali's changed a lot in the last few years and it'll continue to change. My recommendation, go visit before it changes further. If
you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like. And yeah, make sure to subscribe, because we are still uploading travel videos every week to the channel. Even though we are not in Bali anymore, we have a lot of exciting content coming up.
Thank you so much for following us in this journey, and we will see you in our next video.